Hi, this is my August TBR, and it is different from the normal TBR. I was feeling really uninspired. I'm distracted by Lola. I was feeling really uninspired for August. I almost didn't plan a TBR at all. And then I saw this announcement from Becca at Becca Books and Bujo, and I was very interested. I didn't know if I was going to commit or not. In the end, I did. So I'm going to participate. Now, she is co-hosting this with somebody who I don't normally watch. Hang on. Lola's hanging on. She is co-hosting this with Chloe at Always Booked. They have a bunch of rules and a bunch of prompts and Discord and Instagram hashtag. They've got it all. It's all like put together in a couple of lovely documents for you, but I'm not going to go over the rules. I'm not going to go over the expectations. It is a competition. There are two teams, the red team and the black team. The red team has decided that they're going to do a full-on TBR. The black team has decided that they're going to do more of a mood read and pick a card as they finish each book. I signed up for the black team. Like I said, I almost didn't do a TBR at all this month. I signed up for the black team, the mood read team, but I know myself, I know that I need to be reading more than one book at a time. I don't need to be reading 9 books at a time like I have been doing. I decided to draw 3 cards so that I have 3 books that I can read at the same time. As I finish a book, I'll draw a new card throughout the month, and you can see all the cards that I drew all the cards that I draw in my wrap up. August will be an interesting wrap up. There's a lot of like things that I've left that I need to get done before the summer is over that I'll blog, like I'm gonna get new glasses. I'm sure someone out there is like, why doesn't she get new glasses? She's rubbed the paint off of these. I mean, they're fine glasses. Like, why would I? But I am gonna get new glasses. I'm gonna do lots of fun things. I'm still seriously considering the tattoo. I may actually get the tattoo. I'm a little bit like scared. Not so much of like, I'm not scared of like pain or permanence. Pain and permanence are fine. I am just like apprehensive about starting the process because I've never done anything like it before, and it's a little bit intimidating. So that might be part of my August wrap up, not my July wrap up, but my August wrap up. Lots of fun things going on. Also, the start of school. School is starting a week earlier than normal this year. Yeah, so lots gonna be going on in August. Family's gonna be in town, just lots of stuff going on. And I don't wanna commit to a TBR because I don't wanna fail another TBR. I don't punish myself, and fail is the wrong word. Like, I don't consider it a failure. Life is life. Reading comes in ebbs and flows. Time is relative. I really am proud of all the reading that I do. I really love all the reading that I do. And when it feels overwhelming or when I feel like I want to put my attention somewhere else, I do that without guilt or shame. So fail is the wrong word, but also I keep saying I'm going to read these books. And then probably since like March was the last month that I really actually read all the books I said I was going to read. So yeah, so I'm trying to get a little bit more of a realistic view on where I'm at as a reader at this time. I still desire all of these books, and yet I just find myself taking a little bit more time with each thing that I'm reading, and I'm loving that. So I'm gonna keep doing that, but I am picking 3 cards. So let's see what 3 cards were picked. They have let's see, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. There are prompts and a point ranking system. So let me put that up for you right now. So colors don't matter, suits don't matter. If you pull a card or the random card generator, which is what I'm using, if you pull a card or the random card generator gives you a number or like a court card, then you just go with the card. Like, it's a king. It doesn't matter what the color or the suit is. It's a 2. It doesn't matter what the color or the suit is. So each card, ace through king, is assigned a prompt. and each prompt is assigned point values, 3 different point values, depending on how you choose to fulfill that prompt. So let's have a look at what I pulled. I screen recorded the random card generator, and I will do that throughout. So my first draw was a 3. 3, I'll put up a picture, a close-up of 3. So 3, the prompt is on your own TBR. And then if I want 1 point, I'll choose a book that I acquired in the last 6 months. If I want 3 points, if I want to get my team 1 point, I'll choose a book that has come into my possession in the last 6 months. If I want to get my team 3 points, then I will choose a book that I've had on my to-be-read shelf for over a year. And if I want to get my team 5 points with this read, I'm going to choose a book that is over 5 years old, something I've had on my shelf for over 5 years. I only have a small handful of books that I have had on my shelf unread for over 5 years. There's a lot of reasons for that. I have moved a lot in the last 7 years. In the last 7 years, I've moved 6 times in the last 7 years. And each time I try to get rid of books. And the longer it's been with me, because I always have so many boxes of books. Movers hate me. I have so many boxes of books. But I always try to first think about the books that I've had on my shelf the longest and whether I truly, really will read them if I've had them for 5 years. What? No. I do have some though. And so the one that I picked for this prompt is Elena Ferrante's The Story of a New Name. And this has been on TBRs this year. It's been on multiple TBRs this year, and I have not gotten to it. And now I'm going to do it. It's been on my owned TBR for more than 5 years, or just 5 years? Just 5 years. And I am going to read this for 5 points for my team, okay? The next card that got pulled was the Jack of Hearts. Again, suits don't matter. So a Jack. The prompt for a Jack is in the title. And if I want 1 point for my team, then I'll pick something that has a name in the title, someone's name in the title. Anne of Green Gables, Jane Eyre, Rilla of Ingleside. I'll pick something with someone's name in the title. If I want 3 points for my team, I'll pick a number in the title. So The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle or 101 Dalmatians. I'll pick something that has a number in the title. If I want to get my team 5 points, then I'm going to choose a book that has a color in the title. So I have chosen to get my team 5 points by reading the first book in the most recent trilogy by Cassandra Clare, which is Chains of Gold. This is going to do 2 things for me. For the Jennifer Brooks 24 books she wanted to read in 2024, I am still doing that. I've just DNF'd many, many things. But the 3rd book in this trilogy is on her list. And so I have never read a Cassandra Clare. I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know if this is a good place to start. I have dipped into it a little bit, even to the point where I put it on my Goodreads, but then I took it off because I decided it wasn't the time to read it. But I think I'm gonna like this, but in order to read the 3rd book in the series, I need to read the first 2 books in the series, and so I'm gonna start here. So this is Chains of Gold, and gold is a color. Yes, it is. So I am going to count this for 5 points for my team. And then what came up next? I'll tell you a little bit about each of these books in just a second. Let's just establish which books have come up first. So the next thing that came up, my 3rd draw, was the Queen of what is that? Clubs? The Queen of Clubs. And so I have decided Queen, sorry, I almost didn't tell you the prompt. The prompt for Queen is format. Audiobook is 1 point, ebook is 3 points, physical book is 5 points, which works out really well for me because I prefer physical books. I will do audiobooks on occasion. That may happen, especially because I'll be walking to like home from school for the last few weeks in August. So that commute will start again. And I usually listen sometimes to music, sometimes to podcasts, but usually to audiobooks. So that will happen. And so I might end up picking some 1-point picks, but for now, I'm really excited about this book that has no audio that I had sent in from England. And that is Lost in the Garden by Adam S. Leslie. This is a horror novel, and I have no idea what it's about. I'll read you the back in just a second. Technically, here is my TBR for the month of, let's do it that way. Here is my TBR for the month of August. Of course, as I finish those books, they are very chunky, but that's very satisfying size. As I finish those books, of course, I'll pull more cards and I'll pick more books, and what I pick and the order that I read them in will be in my reading wrap up. But this way, I really don't feel much pressure. Like, I can read these 3 books and then as much or as little else as I want. I think I will be pretty motivated though, because I am like accruing points for other people who I'm getting to know in a Discord. You know, accountability. There's a push there. there's a push. So I'm excited about this, and it has changed my mind about reading in August. I really didn't know what I wanted to read. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. August is always kind of a weird month for me now. This is the month that 2 years ago, my soul dog, all dogs are different. I love all dogs, but like Joey was my boy. So it's the month that my soul dog died. Actually, this is the day that I'm posting this is the 2-year anniversary of saying goodbye to him, having to make that very difficult choice to let him go, and learning how much stronger I am than I thought I was. And it also brings up feelings of just great thankfulness, not only for the years that I had with my dog, but also for a friend who came to really, really help me through that whole process without any preparation. Like, his decline had been coming on for so long, so slowly. He was very old. And then when the end hit. It was so fast, and it was so... And it was so painful, and it felt so out of control just because of the way that the circumstances rolled out. Like, we had just moved in to this apartment, just moved in, like 4 or 5 days in to living here. And it happened on a Sunday. Like, I realized it was crucial on a Sunday, or it became crucial on a Sunday, and everything was closed. All of the emergency vets were completely booked, and they weren't taking anybody. My friend came and just went with me to emergency vet after emergency vet after emergency vet all over this city and surrounding cities. We would call and people would be like, no, go to this place. We go to that place, and be like, no, go to this place. We just kept getting ricocheted around, and my dog is dying in the back seat of the car. It was, I mean, he wasn't in pain. He didn't seem to be in pain. He was just dying. And yeah, it was terrifying. It was terrifying. And it just felt very out of control. And he was such a grumpy little old man. And I was used to him telling me what to do. And I was used to him always being right. He really was always right. And in so many ways, our human-dog relationship was that he took care of me, and I knew he was telling me to let him go. And I really didn't want to. It was too slow and too fast. And a very good friend was with me through it all. So I convinced her to come and work with me at my school. To leave the school we'd been at together before and to come join me at my new school. And she did it a whole year later, but she did it. And I didn't know that I would cry at all when I told this story. I've told it before, but I think just kind of thinking about it and just having very strong feelings of gratefulness. And yeah, it's not about the loss, these tears. I think I've cried all of those. I think it's just more about like what a joy it was to have him. I think it's more about just like what a joy it was to have him and how blessed I am to have the people in my life that I do have. And then I got Lola. And that was a totally different story. Like about a week later, I got Lola. It just happened that, I mean, the house was so quiet. It was a brand new house. It was a brand new apartment. And it just felt so big and so quiet. So I started looking on the Humane Society site and saw this little puppy here. She was all ears. She was genuinely all ears. And when I went to go and visit her, she was a wild thing. I should have realized she is the Tasmanian devil in beagle form. But I thought, yeah, she'll keep my mind off of Joey. She'll keep my mind off of Joey. And in reality, she just made me for the first like 6 months think, why isn't she like Joey? But it helped me process so much. And she definitely kept me busy. She came in and destroyed everything. I still have holes in the middle of the carpet in my living room. I have hid them. But yeah, she destroyed everything, and I didn't know if I would survive. I didn't know if I could keep her. I didn't know if I could be good enough for her. I didn't know if I could be the person, the human that she needed, because I had been cared for by Joey. And now I have a dog who gets cared for by me. Like, Joey took care of me. I take care of Lola. It's a totally different human-dog relationship, but I think it is definitely the one that I needed. But you know, she turned 2 in April. She'll be 3 next April. And that's a pretty obvious statement. But I'm looking forward to it. She gets mellower and mellower as the years go by. Less and less destructive. She still has more energy than I think I will ever be able to drain from her. But yeah, she's hilarious. She knows how to tell a joke. Yes, she does. She knows how to be funny, this dog. She has an intense sense of humor. She is silly. She is silly as all get out. She plays hide and seek. She knows so many words. She knows how, this is very, very dangerous. She knows how to open the sliding glass door. She has started to learn how to open the oven. She is a dog, but she's got a lot of skills. And I'm very grateful for her too, even though I genuinely had no idea if I was going to survive. I would come home from work and she would have destroyed something else, and I would just sob and sob and sob, because I appreciate the rules, and I really don't want to cause trouble or problems. And here she was destroying this new apartment that I had just moved into, that I had lived in for less than a few months. And she was just destroying it. I have really had to let go of what people think about me. Like, there's a whole part of like the baseboard, not the baseboard, but like the, what's it called? The board that goes around a door. I don't know what it's called. That is missing. It's been attacked, chewed through, scratched off, gone. There is, as I said, several places where there are holes in the carpet and the floor. Many of them got replaced thanks to the flood, if you remember the flood. So when that carpet got replaced, all that got replaced. My apartment constantly, no matter how much I clean the carpet, has a faint smell of pee. Because, I mean, if I open the windows, it doesn't. But if the windows are closed for any amount of time, there is a constant faint smell of pee. I have a Bissell carpet cleaner. I have had a friend come and bring a commercial carpet cleaner. It always just has a faint sense of pee, and maybe that's just like Lady Macbeth's bloody hands. Maybe it's just an out damn spot situation. Maybe only I can feel it. I don't know. But I feel like it's real because she had such a hard time being house trained. Like, I would take her for a walk, which is still a work in progress, the leash and the harness. But I would take her for a walk. She wouldn't go. I would bring her in, and seconds later, she would go on the carpet. She has been a joy. I'm very grateful for her in my life. I think Joey set it up. But this is the anniversary of Joey's death today, of my letting him go. Hardest decision of my life. Had no idea if I was actually going to be able to follow through with it. But I was there with him, and it was good. You can do more than you think you can. You are braver than you think you are. You are stronger than you think you are. And the things that you are afraid of, it's an illusion. It's actually nothing to fear. If you want to release anxiety you have about something that's scaring you, just walk into it. Just walk into it. And the action alone will set you free. So, tears, but it's more about just how grateful I am, not only for they're still right there, not only for the joy that my years with him brought, and all the times he told me off. I have a video recording. In fact, maybe if I can pull one off of, maybe if I can find one on my phone, I might put one in right here. You're fine. You're okay. It's okay. No, it's fine. Look, I know. It's fine. If you didn't lick it, I wouldn't do it. You're fine. No, we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it. I know. I know. You're okay. Not only for years of that and all the good care he gave me, but pride in myself for being stronger than I thought I was, and joy in my friendships, which means so much to me. I mean, somebody who can drop everything on a Sunday with no warning and just come and drive you around as you panic for hours and then stay with you through the entire thing. That's friendship. That's friendship. That's family. So, I was going to tell you what the books are about. Silly me. I thought this was going to be short. that concludes my TED Talk. Okay, let's do this. Let's talk about each of these books very quickly. We've got Elena Ferrante's The Story of a New Name. This is the second in the Neapolitan series, the Neapolitan Quartet. There are 4 books. I only own 1 and 2. When I finish this one, I'll pick up 3, maybe 3 and 4. I really enjoyed reading the first book. There's a really airy style to this story about very heavy topics. It's about 2 girls growing up in Italy. One of them, there's like 2 timelines. So at the start of the book, you realize that there are these 2 women and they've been separated from each other. They've been estranged, but it's clear that they used to be friends. One of them has disappeared. One of them has gone missing. And so then there's this series of really long, like most of the book is a flashback to how they met, the conflicts that they had, the ways that they helped each other grow up, the experiences they had, what it's like to be a young woman in Italy in the 1950s, 1960s, 70s. It's a little bit timeless. 50s, the 1950s. Some really, really hard things to read about in this book. You know, female friendship can be brutal, to be quite honest. And there's a lot of brutality in this. Brutality between the 2 of them, but also at the hands of adults. Like, the girls are brutalized through the broken adults that are all around them. It's very slice of life. It's very meandery, but at the same, and you don't really know what the point is. I still don't know what the point is, but except that this woman is missing. So it's not a plot-driven book. It's definitely a character-driven book, but it's not like a character study. There's definitely a lot of plot. And if you've read these books, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't read them, you're probably like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm just gonna stop because I can't really tell you much more than what I've already told you, because it's the second book in a series. But I really did enjoy the tone of the book, and I really enjoyed the vivid descriptions of place and person that were in the book, and I'm curious to know what happens next. It's so well written that I read the first book for the first time. I've only read it once. I've read the first book in 2021, I believe, maybe 2022. And I still very clearly remember the whole last chapter. It's a wedding, and I remember it very, very clearly. And it ends like no resolution whatsoever. It's not even a cliffhanger. It's just like no resolution. So I'm curious. I haven't opened this up or anything. It's been on my shelf for years and I've never opened it. I'm just curious where this is going to start. And yeah, I don't want to put off reading it anymore. It feels like a really good summer read. I do believe I read the first one in the summer. So it feels like a good summer read. So this is The Story of a New Name, and that is one of the books I'll be reading. Chains of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is the Last Hours trilogy in the Shadowhunter world, book 1. I don't know what any of that means, but I did look online and I did see that I don't necessarily have to read them in order, that maybe it's like generational or something like that. And I can pick up here. And the cover really appeals to the teenage girl inside of me. Like, the teenage Jenna would have absolutely read all of these. I'm sure I would have absolutely loved these. So I am not too worried. It is a gigantic series if you read all of them. There's so many. And if I enjoy this, I probably will go back to the beginning and read them all. Be a nice diversion. But it says, love cuts deeper than any blade. Cordelia Carstairs. I don't know how I feel about that name. I think in another video I gave my opinion that fantasy books, the names try too hard. Cordelia Carstairs. It's trying too hard. But Cordelia is a shadow hunter. Cordelia reminds me of There's a glare, which is why I keep pushing my glasses down. When I look down, there's a glare from the window on my glasses. So it creates a little blind spot, which is why I'm pushing them down and pushing them up. But when I read the name Cordelia, I'm reminded of that old Disney movie, The Happiest Millionaire. The daughter in that is Cordelia. I love that movie. It's a musical. Andy Murray, love that movie. So much fun. If you've never watched that and you enjoy a good classic Disney movie, I recommend. Anyway, Cordelia Carstairs is a shadow hunter, a warrior trained since childhood to battle demons. When her father is accused of a terrible crime, she travels to London in hopes of preventing her family's ruin. There, Cordelia's childhood friends, James and Lucy Herondale, trying too hard, draw her into their world of glittering ballrooms and supernatural salons. All the while, Cordelia must hide her secret love for James, who has sworn to marry someone else. Aren't they all? But Cordelia's new life is blown apart when demon attacks devastate London. Now trapped in a quarantined city, Cordelia's friends discover that their connection to a dark legacy has gifted them with incredible powers and forced a brutal choice that will reveal the cruel price of being a hero. Okay, that sounds fun. That sounds very fun. And will be a nice balance for this very serious, very realistic literary fiction. And then finally, I have Lost in the Garden. This is a horror novel. It's giving me Midsommar vibes. If you've seen that movie, you will know what I'm talking about. Honestly, I really think Hereditary is a far superior film from that filmmaker. In fact, Hereditary I just want to like study it. It's so well done. It's scary. Don't watch it if you get scared. But, I mean, I don't really get scared by scary movies much anymore, and Hereditary scares me. Hereditary scares me, and also enthralls me with its storytelling perfection. Everything that happens in that movie is revealed to you long before it happens, but you have no clue what has been revealed to you. And it is so beautifully done over and over and over again. And yeah, it's very scary. Midsommar is kind of Wicker Man-esque. I love Wicker Man. That's one of my favorite, the classic and the Nick Cage. Wicker Man is one of my absolute favorite horror type stories or type of horror stories. And so this is giving me all those vibes. I have no idea what this is about though. I saw it recommended on somebody's channel and went, I need that book. Here we go. It says, Heather, Rachel, and Antonia are going to Almonby. Heather needs to find her boyfriend, who, like so many, went and never came back. Rachel has a mysterious package to deliver, and her life depends on it. And Antonia, poor love-struck Antonia, just wants the chance to spend the day with Heather. So off they set through the idyllic yet perilous English countryside, in which nature thrives in abundance and summer lasts forever. Sounds like a dream. Sounds like a fever dream. And as they travel through ever-shifting geography and encounter strange voices in the fizz of shortwave radio, the harder it becomes to tell friend from foe. Creepy, dreamlike, what did I just say? Dreamlike, unsettling, and unforgettable. You are about to join the privileged few who come to understand exactly why we don't go to Almonby. There's a little blurb from, like a little quote from the book. It says, like an old wives' tale, like a piece of wisdom passed down through generations which no one questioned or even thought about too hard, like folklore. It was just something everyone knew, a rule to be followed. Don't go to Almonby. Ooh. This is going to be a great way to start Becca's TBRathon. Becca and Chloe's. I don't remember what it's called. Deck of TBRathon. Deck of TBRathon. Okay, so let me see if I've done everything. I've given you a TBR. I've explained what you need to know about the game. I've promised to link things down below. I've cried. So I think we're good to go. Thank you for watching. If you got all the way to the end, consider joining Becca's Deck of TBRathon. And you can watch her video down below, and I will also link Chloe's video down below, as well as like all the links that they gave to be able to sign up and all of those things. It starts August 1st. It goes for the entire month, and I think it's going to be a good time. I think it's going to be a very, very good time. And if you have a pet, go hug it and love on it and appreciate it to the full, okay? People and pets are not with us forever. Make the most of your time. Make the most of your time. That's all I got. Let's go read. Hey Lola, we gotta get home. You ready? Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, you silly beast. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. There we go. There we go.